Lovelock Cave, Nevada, a tale of giants or a giant tale of fiction? The Native American Paiutes tell stories of a race of red-haired white giants known as the Siteka, exterminated during a great battle. Evidence excavated at Lovelock Cave in Nevada seems to back up their legendary story. The Paiutes, a Native American tribe indigenous to parts of Nevada, have an oral tradition that they told to early white settlers of the area about a race of red-haired white giants or barbarians that their ancestors referred to as the Siteka. The story was written down in 1882 by Sarah Winnemucca Hopkins, daughter of a Paiute Indian chief, in her book Life Among the Paiutes, Their Wrongs and Claims. These quote-unquote giants were described as being vicious, unfriendly, and cannibalistic. In this story, the Paiutes speak of a great battle that took place, which led to their extermination at a site known today as Lovelock Cave. During the early part of the 20th century, archaeologists found thousands of artifacts inside this cave, leading to a legendary excavation of the site and speculation that the Paiute legend was real. The Paiute legend of the Lovelock Giants and their massacre at Lovelock Cave. Siteka, or Seduka, literally translates as tool eaters in the northern Paiute language. The tool is a fibrous water plant which, according to legend, was woven by giants into rafts in order to escape attack by the Paiutes. They used the rafts to navigate across what remained then of Lake Lahontan, an ancient lake that once covered most of northern Nevada during the last ice age. As the Paiute tale goes, after years of warfare, all the tribes in the area joined together to rid themselves of the Siteka. One day, as the tribes chased down the last remaining red-haired giants, they took refuge in a cave. The Paiutes demanded their enemy come out of the cave and fight, but the giants refused. The coalition of tribes proceeded to shoot arrows at them while starting a large fire at the mouth of the cave. The smoke drove out a few who died in a hail of arrows, while the rest were all either burned alive or asphyxiated. Over time, the entrance to the cave would collapse, leaving it accessible only to bats and cut off from human contact. Lovelock Cave in Nevada, also known as Bat Cave, Horseshoe Cave, Sunset Guano Cave, and Indian Cave, is located 20 miles south of modern-day Lovelock, Nevada. It's a very old cave that predates humans on the continent and in prehistoric times was underneath Lake Lahontan. In 1886, a mining engineer from Lovelock named John T. Reed was told of the legend by local Indians who took him to the site to prove it existed. Reed was unsuccessful in getting an archaeological dig started immediately, but two miners, James Hart and David Pugh, realized the value of the guano as an ingredient of gunpowder and created a company to start digging it out in 1911. They stripped a layer of guano from the cave approximately 3 to 6 feet deep, using a pick and shovel with little regard to the artifacts, and shipped out 250 tons of it to the Hawaiian Fertilizer Company in San Francisco. Archaeological explorations at Lovelock Cave. Alfred Kruber, founder of the University of California Anthropology Department, was contacted by Hart and Pugh when they reported finding prehistoric artifacts. This spurred the first archaeological dig of Lovelock in 1912, led by L.L. Loud, also of the University of California. A second dig took place in 1924, and after finishing the excavations, Loud collaborated on a report that was published in 1929. What Loud found was nothing short of amazing. Approximately 10,000 archaeological specimens were uncovered, including tools, bones, baskets, and weapons. And according to the report, 60 average height mummies were unearthed, duck decoys, among the oldest known in the world with feathers still attached, and a sandal over 15 inches, 38 centimeters long, were excavated. A donut-shaped stone with 365 notches carved along the outside and 52 corresponding notches inside was found, which some scientists believe is a calendar. Interestingly, radiocarbon dating down on follow-up visits during vegetation material, done on the vegetation material dating back to 2030 BC, a human femur dating to 1450 BC, human muscle tissue dating 1420 BC, and basketry dating back to 1218 BC. Archaeologists conclude from this that human occupation of Lovelock Cave by this culture started in 1500 BC. Today, anthropologists call the people who lived in the area the Lovelock culture, with the period lasting some 3,000 years. Many archaeologists believe that the Lovelock culture was replaced by northern Paiutes. There's some debate as to the veracity of the claims made regarding the Lovelock giants. During their initial excavations, there were reports of mummified remains being found of two red-haired giants. One was a female 6.5 feet tall, and the other a male over 8 feet tall. However, no such evidence remains. In Sarah Whitnemaker Hopkins' book, Life Among the Paiutes, Their Wrongs and Claims, she does mention giants, but does refer to so-called barbarians. Skeptics claim that chemical staining by earth after burial was a likely reason why mummified remains have red hair instead of black, like most Indians in the area. A study done at the University of Nevada indicates the giants were about 6 feet tall and not up to 8 feet tall, as had been claimed. To others, the uncovering of 15-inch sandals at Lovelock Cave is proof enough that the Paiute's tale is real. In an article published in the Nevada Review Minor in 1931, in February and June of that same year, it was reported that two very large skeletons were found in the Humboldt dry lake bed near Lovelock, Nevada. One of the Lovelock skeletons was reported to have measured 8.5 feet tall and was later described as having been wrapped in a gum-covered fabric similar to Egyptian mummies. The other was supposedly near 10 feet tall. And linking the giants of Lovelock Cave with the Uros Indians of South America, some other evidence of the Lovelock giants include a set of images showing a handprint more than double the size of a normal man's hand, imprinted on a stone boulder in the cave, which was released by Bigfoot investigators M.K. Davis and Don Monroe in 2013. Along the Peru-Bolivia border, skulls have been found near Lake Titicaca, with claims being made they were from giants with reddish hair and elongated skulls. The legends tell of the Uros Indians making reed boats and living on islands on Lake Titicaca, similar to the Paiute. The Incas apparently drove them to live this way, much like the Paiute's ancestors apparently did to the giants at Lake La Hontan of Lovelock Cave. Now today, many of the original artifacts found at Lovelock, but no giants, can be viewed at a small natural history museum located in Winnemucca, Nevada. Objects such as the duck decoys are housed in the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C., and the basketry and bones belong to the Nevada State Museum. The site is significant in an archaeological context because it's an example of a legend being confirmed by archaeological evidence. In this case, legends which the Paiute elders had been telling their tribal children for years. In fact, a Phoebe Hearst Museum of Anthropology at University of California published a paper on Lovelock Cave in 2005 had this to say: the site has been extensively hunted and many materials remain in private collections. Lovelock Cave, despite years of destruction, is one of the most important sites in the history of North American archaeology. Lovelock Cave was officially designated a historical site in 1984. And this is on Collective Spark from Brian Hilliard, Ancient Origins. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.